Blind Faith Live. Real people, real miracles.
So we walk in, I said, well, there's the alcohol and there's peroxide. She said, no, the alcohol's in the back of the store. And I said, wait a minute, what kind of alcohol are you talking about?
Another one-of-a-kind story, keeping it real with Kathy Nemeh. And of course, we featured Dr. Issam Nemeh. He prays and things happen.
Jesus withdraws. I mean, you experience him and all of a sudden he withdraws. It's like a training, it's like a blessing.
That's one of the topics today in Issam's Insights with Dr. Issam Nemeh. It has to do with those days, you're praying and it just doesn't feel as connected to God as it has before. God pull away? Are we pulling away? That's coming up. As well as, do we choose our parents? Do we have a conversation with God before we're born into this world, determining where we're headed and why we're headed there? Coming up in Issam's Insights today on Blind Faith Live. Real people, real miracles. Complete new episodes every Tuesday. But on Sundays, we like to look back at other inspired moments with Dr. Issam Nemeh and Issam's Insights. My name is Philip Keller, and I'm legally blind, and this episode has to do with light. Christ is the light, and we are to follow that light and reflect that light. And we have some beautiful examples of how to do just that. But today began with my wonderful musical talent. Jesus, dun, 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 dun. I've told you about how songs bubble up in my head, and that becomes the theme or the topic of each week. This is the one I woke up to this morning. It's a church song, but I don't sing in church. I'm one of those that just stands there stoically, and my wife sings, and everyone else is singing. I just can't. I'm not one of those. So I am asking my wife, what is this song? What is this called?
In him there is no darkness at all. The light of my life is Jesus.
So that leads us to YouTube, and
I want to walk as a child of the light. I want to follow Jesus.
God set the stars to give light to the world. The star of my life is Jesus. In him there is no darkness at all. The night and the day are both alike. The Lamb is the light of the city of God. Shine in my heart, Lord Jesus. I want to see the brightness of God. I want to look at Jesus. Clear sun of righteousness, shine on my path and show me the way to the Father. I'm looking for the coming of Christ. I want to be with Jesus. When we have run with patience the race, we shall know the joy of Jesus.
you hear those words, I want to walk as a child of the light. And Jesus always talked about how we all need to be children as we approach God. And I just flashed on Mother Angelica starting her day with, Jesus, I want what you want. Let's go. Or I think of Charlene Kayla, one of our miracle moments, how she starts her day. Jesus, today is your day, not mine. Where are we going? Or Kathy Nemeh, keeping it real.
And I say, okay, God, Blessed Mother, guide me today. Tell me what I'm supposed to do. Who am I supposed to help? I get hundreds of emails, prayer requests at the P.O. box, and I try to answer every single one. And I'm up until the wee hours of the morning trying to help and touch lives so people know that we care. I have a routine. I visit my dad's sister who's 85 years old. She lives in Westlake. And I try to go 4 to 5 times a week just to stop in and see her. I'm very close with her. And every Saturday there's a convenience store on Lorraine Road that sells this crumb cake. And I know that I have to run early to pick it up. And I try to do it every Saturday. Sometimes I don't. So about a month ago, I ran in there to get the crumb cake, and I'm leaving, and this very pretty girl stops me. And she said, I had this double piercing. You see my ear? And I said, yes. And she said, I really injured myself, and I need alcohol. And I said, oh, okay. She said, I forgot my purse at home. And she's beautifully dressed, very nice girl. But something was wrong. She was very sad. And I said, okay, I'll go in with you, and I'll get you the alcohol. Sure, of course I'll get that for you. So we walk in, I said, well, there's the alcohol and there's peroxide. She said, no, the alcohol's in the back of the store. And I said, wait a minute, what kind of alcohol are you talking about? She said, I need something to calm me down. I said, well, I'm not buying you liquor. I'm not buying you a beer. I don't drink. I don't like that whole scene. So I'm not doing that. She said, well, will you buy me a lottery ticket? I said, with my luck, you're going to win $500,000 and you're going to go buy all this liquor. And she just looked at me like, okay, then. I said, tell me what is really wrong. And she started crying. She said, I'm an only child. I'm engaged. She had a beautiful wedding, engagement ring. I moved to California, have a great job. My mom died suddenly. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to my mom. And I said, so what are you doing here now? She said, I'm here to sell the house. I have nobody to help me, and I'm lost. So I just started walking, and I came up to this convenient. I forgot everything at home. And I said, well, you know what? The only thing I can help you with, and I opened my purse, and I always carry plastic little rosaries around. I said, I'm going to give you this rosary. And I put the rosary in her hand, and she sees it, and she starts sobbing. And I went, oh, geez. I said, I'm so sorry. What's wrong? And I said, I don't know if you're Catholic, Protestant, Jewish. I don't care what you are, but this is my gift to you. And she couldn't stop crying. She said, oh, my God. My mom and I would always say the rosary together. This is a sign for my mom. I said, it's going to be okay. It'll be okay. And then she said, we used to visit shrines together. We're very Catholic. And I said, you know what? There's a little shrine on Clegg Road that St. Bernadette's just put up. And it's a Bernadette statue. And she starts crying more. And I said, oh, my God, what's wrong? She goes, my mom's name was Bernadette. And I went, I can't make these stories up. It's like, so I look at her and I said, okay, so you're not going to go drinking. She goes, no, you have helped me so much. These are signs from my mother. I said, okay, great. So I leave. I don't get her name. I get nothing. So yesterday, I didn't go to see my aunt Saturday, but I go during the week. We were in Stony Point last week. I couldn't get her crumb cake. So I went yesterday, and I'm leaving. And who's standing there? The girl's waiting for me. Look, I have goosebumps. She said, I've been looking for you. I'm leaving tomorrow. That's today. And I said, where are you going? She said, I got rid of everything I had to get rid of. And God sent me so many different angels to help me. And she said, what you did for me by giving me that rosary and telling me to go to St. Bernadette's, my mom's name is Bernadette. She said, you're right. My mom's with me all the time, every step of the way. I said, of course she is. Of course she is. So she hugged me, and she said, I'm getting married, and I'm going to miss my mom. But I have that rosary as a sign that she is going to be with me at that wedding. She lost her dad many years ago, so it was just her and her mom. Can you imagine the hurt? She said, you picked me up, and you stood me up, and you gave me my life back. So every day when I wake up, I say, God, direct me to whoever needs me at that particular moment. Her fiance, she said he was going to leave me because I couldn't focus. I'm sad all the time. And when he saw the change in her, he just said, oh my God, what a miracle you had. What a true miracle. So you never know who's sitting next to you that needs a kind word. You don't know what people are going through. So if they're angry, it could be for a reason. So try to be patient. What I see in this life, every day a new experience. Every day a healing of some sort, whether it's physical, spiritual, emotional. What I see is real. And I've seen the impossible become possible.
A beautiful example of walking as a child of the light. Kathy Nemeh keeping it real on Blind Faith Live. Real people, real miracles.
Oh my God.
That was awesome.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I'm trying to picture you buying booze for somebody.
Well, I didn't know what she meant. She goes,
And then we started heading out with Dr. Nemeh just to enjoy a beautiful day. Some emails we received this week, things like before we come here, before we are born into, the families we are born into, is there any conversation with God of what's about to happen? Is there any kind? Nothing?
No, because here the only thing you are aware of is just knowing that you belong only to God. You have no awareness of anything else, not even in the individuality is there. But when the decision is made to be pushed into this world, then that's the moment where it starts. You start forming some individuality then.
Okay, but it's up to God where, when, parents, country.
God is the one.
Right.
God is the one.
You don't know where you're going.
But everybody has an opportunity wherever you are born. You are born, to a poor or wealthy or whatever. Everyone has their own experience, and they have to make the right choice. Now, the ones that have more actually difficulty, physically speaking, they are closer to God. They need less. And stuff like that, But the total equation, everybody's equal.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone is equal. Here, we interpret things in a different way. Spiritually speaking, there is no difference between you born in Africa and dying from starvation or being born to a very wealthy family in America. There is no difference whatsoever.
It appears, you always hear that phrase, there but by the grace of God go I. How do you phrase it when you talk about someone being born into the
Well, how do I phrase it now? If you have a difficult physical existence in here, then you have more mercy on you, actually. Okay? The less physically you suffer in here, the farther away, and you need more effort to reach the same spiritual level that one dying from starvation could reach.
Okay.
So that's why I said everything is so balanced that way, so no one could say I was worse than the other one or whatever, because it's a matter of just reaching the spiritual level.
Yeah. And you mentioned too in your talk, you mentioned how everything is tailored. I like the word you used, the word tailored.
Yeah.
It's all tailored for that individual.
Exactly.
Everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
God is so just and beautiful.
Right. Somebody else wanted to know about, there are those days when you pray and you feel totally connected. The next day it's like you feel like there's a wall between you and God. It's just not the same. And so the question is that us pulling away or is that God pulling away? What's going on during that?
Well, that's a blessing, actually, because Jesus withdraws. I mean, you experience Him, and all of a sudden He withdraws. But He withdraws in order for you to feel the difference when His presence is there or not. And the idea is about us surrendering more and getting closer to Him. And it's a journey. Then it ends up feeling the presence continuously. I will not do that anymore. It's like a training, It's like a blessing for us.
So you don't feel it any different day to day now. You feel no difference connection wise.
I feel no difference whatsoever, because of the awareness. God's Spirit is in you and revealing the truth and all of that. It changes the state of your mind. Okay. So you reach a level and you are steady in that state of mind. So there is no need for any lessons to be learned that way.
I know you came into this a little more knowledge than most, even as a child, but did you feel a difference? Was that something you had to learn, or did that come infused?
No, you see, the evil world here is very tempting. So no matter what, here you are a sinner. I mean, I'm a sinner like anybody else, right? So here you have to make decisions, physically speaking, in order for you to reach that level. You see? So awareness in there, I made a decision, physically speaking, like everybody else does. And even from childhood, from babyhood,
But that connection feeling, like you say now, you don't have that day-to-day, any kind of wavering, or where are you today, God, or did I do something? You're solid now. Was that always there?
It was there, but it was on and off.
So you were being trained also, in a sense, in this physical world.
Of course, we go through the same thing. It solidifies when you put your faith to work. And that's what I've been noticing. If you just are satisfied only with what is conveyed to you and you do not put it to work, what I mean by that is enlighten everybody around you, sharing whatever your knowledge is conveyed to you, then you'll experience on and off and stuff like that. But once you put it to work, it becomes a steady presence. You know.
I read somebody who gave an account saying basically when you hit that wall, just pray thy will be done. Is that a good place to start?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what he requires of us. It's a matter of more surrender. You know, so you can train your mind actually. You know, anytime you feel like this, blocked and stuff like that, you accept the state you are in and you throw yourself in his hands. And you experience the blessing right away if you are truthful about the offering, you know. I mean, it's a law. I mean, I when people tell me that they're blocked and stuff like this, definitely it rests on them. They must be having some different type of thinking, you know, that does not fit what the Lord is planning for them.
Well, as you said, if it's training, then you take that as a learning moment versus I'm doing something wrong, as it's a learning moment and to crash through that wall.
Yeah, it's a learning. Yes, it's a learning, and that's why I say it's a blessing. Actually, you know, a great blessing, because here, those experiences are necessary in order for us to surrender more and belong more to that unity. You know, and it requires the surrender in order for you to experience it.
Was there anything talked about earlier today? You were talking about how. You had the catchers asking questions this morning. Did anything bubble up this morning that are good areas to go to, guys? What came?
Jay
what was Jay's?
Suggesting something for the journey after the healing.
In the podcast, it's addressed many times. Once you have the healing, now what? Where do we go from here? And you make the joke, well, Las Vegas, right?
That's right. How many people have said that to Dr. Nemeh? Boy, if I get a healing, Vegas. Yeah, we're going to go to Vegas. So. And that is always that's always the question, isn't it?
The healing you experience solidifies what you believe in. You know, and there's a decision actually to make. Here, when it solidifies for you, it should make it very easy actually to start seeking the right way. Not to completely forget about everything and go back to your regular previous life. Then you get sick again, you know. Then it will not stand.
It's being the one leper versus the 9.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you know. And God does understand. I mean, he healed the 10, even though he knew beforehand, actually, the only one is going to come back. Yeah. But he healed them.
He does it anyway.
Exactly. You know, God's mercy is way above all of this, you know. So.
And what do you say to people, and I've talked to people recently who they'll get the partial healing, they'll get the sign, and then they're not quite sure, did I do something wrong? I'm not quite in the right place. What? And I say, obviously, you're subject to healing. You've been given a sign.
Yeah.
It's like keep coming. What did you just learn? Keep coming.
Yes, exactly. No, not only this, when they ask that question, it opens the door for me to share whatever the Spirit is revealing. They don't ask the question, it becomes very hard, because sometimes if you address some faults of theirs and stuff like that without them asking, then you could drive them completely into the other direction. So that's why I keep quiet until they ask a question, why, and stuff like that. And we start explaining more to reveal, maybe, with the hope that they will be enlightened and start thinking the right way.
We're all doorways, and you've talked about inspiring others and being a doorway in that sense. It's so difficult to be a doorway and not want to tell someone the answer. Here's what I think you need. And you are such a role model for just shutting up and letting it come out naturally.
Yes, yeah. But I wouldn't say doorway. I would say window. Doorway is only Jesus. We are windows.
So after a person gets a healing and they go back to their old ways, do they get a second chance for another healing? Do they?
Like I said, you go a million times and come back to Jesus. He's going to do that, I mean, our God is so beautiful and perfect. And His mercy is infinite, and His love is infinite. And not only this, sometimes Jesus requires some more persistence on our part. So it doesn't have to deliver instantaneously like people expect. But that's part of that learning that He puts us through Because here, when there are delays, actually, I regard them as blessings, because here it could drive you towards more closeness to Jesus by surrendering yourself more continuously to Him. Then you reach a point and He knows right there, and He delivers everything. You see, then He will complete your being in order for you to be able to render the full service that you are predestined to render. It's as simple as that. So it's beautiful, actually, that you are aware of those things, because that's a healing, and that's a sign of the healing happening to you in every way.
It is a phenomenal journey, and the podcast and the Issam's insights are just, you just listen to those again and again and again, and you grow and you grow.
That's the beauty of that awareness. It's cool. It's good.
We're getting there.
We have the gang that is coming back right now.
Here we go. Here we go. Kathy, Nemeh, and Entourage saying, "Where is everybody? Let's get this second half of the program underway here."
Gonna go get some liquor and alcohol. Excuse me, alcohol.
Okay, go back.
Let's go, Captain Planet.
In where is no darkness at all, the night and the day are both alike. The Lamb is the light of the city of God. Shine in my heart, Lord Jesus.
Listening to the song and looking at the words again, I want to walk as a child of the light. Keep singing these words, light and stars and shine, reminding us of who Jesus is. And as you listen to this episode, just look back again here. Kathy Nemeh, what is she doing? Reflecting that light, which is what we're all supposed to do. Taking a moment out for another human being, shining, reflecting Christ. Dr. Issam Nemeh does it all the time in his treatments, at these healing services, in his insights, always reflecting that light. So this, once again, isn't just about the light of Christ, but how we reflect that light of Christ through us. That's our job, to inspire others. That's what Blind Faith Live was created for. And that light has to be on top of the mountain, on top of the house to shine, and we're not supposed to hide it. Shining that light, reflecting that light. And I just want to pause here for a moment to remind you and me that that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be reflecting that light. So who do you know that needs this light to shine on them, that would be inspired by hearing these stories? Who do you know would benefit by hearing a Kathy Nemeh story of taking a moment out for another human being, or the insights of Dr. Issam Nemeh? Who do you know? Share this story. Share the light of Christ. This is supposed to be on top of a mountain. We are all called to inspire others, to be a doorway or a window. A window. We haven't come up with a window song. I just have the door song. But who do you need to share this with? Think about that, okay?
I said God put a million doors in the world for His love to walk through. One of those doors is you. You bring the kingdom come. With every act of love, Jesus help us carry you. Your light shines through with every act of love. We bring the kingdom. We bring the kingdom come. With every act of love, Jesus help us carry you. Alive in us, your light shines through with every act of love. We bring the kingdom come. With every act of love.
Thank you for listening to Blind Faith Live. Real people, real miracles. Complete new episodes every Tuesday. See you then. I'm Philip Keller.